It was dark, it's wet, and she must have been absolutely terrified.
The man had a large and unusual scar on his stomach, looking like a shark bite. It was probably quite old. If you're a doctor or a surgeon, do you remember injuries that shape?
Move! Move. Get in there, move over. Shift.
A Citroën owner's manual was kept under the passenger seat. He seemed unfamiliar with the car. Was it stolen? Or had he borrowed it from you?
Get out, get around the back and start pushing. Get back in.
Perhaps frightened that the car would break down again, he then decided to abandon his victim only a street away.
Out. Go.
She's been brave to be able to give us so much information under very, very difficult circumstances.
We're going to stop here now. You've done very well.
Mum didn't watch the interview, and so she didn't know what her daughter had said, and they gave each other a big hug. And I think both Christine and I did look at each other and just think, you know, that was just, it was a really emotional moment.
It's always on your mind, you know, you just wake up and you think about her, you think about catching him, it's on your mind all the time. Until he's caught, we're not going to stop.
Jackie, what an ordeal for that girl. You can't imagine what would have been going through her mind during all that. How is she coping with it now?
Yep, she's doing fine. She's coping as best as she can. I think it could have been anybody. That was the trouble. She was just going to her normal Saturday job. Unfortunately, because of the petrol crisis, it was the only time she's ever walked to work. He's approached her, and it could have been anybody. And indeed, that's what he actually said to her when she asked, you know, why me? He said, well, I'm sorry, it just happened to be you. You were there.
God, you don't know if that makes it worse, if that's possible. Stuart Racken, you're the detective inspector in charge of this case.
Yeah.
When you look at what happened, your biggest clue has to be the scar that man had.
Yeah, I think that's a unique scar, and we've taken advice on that, and we think that it's probably not a shark bite. The top part is likely to be an operation scar, and we think the bottom part is likely to be a fight or an accident scar.
And what did he look like in appearance?
He's described as a white male, 20, 30 years of age, medium build, dark blonde hair, parted in the centre in a curtain style, and he's got a scar above his left eye as well.
Now he was driving, what was it, a Citroën?
Yeah, beige Citroën, older style, which obviously may not be his, it may be borrowed or even stolen. And that's got some distinguishing features in the fact that it's got a tree air freshener in the front, which is green in colour. It's got a road map in it, and it's also got cushions and blankets in the back.
Now you've got DNA of this man, so you can eliminate anyone from your inquiries should you want to.
Yeah, that's right, we can eliminate the innocent.
Now the family, Jackie, you've obviously got to know them pretty well throughout all this. Understandably, they're far too traumatised to come and talk to us directly, but you went and spoke to them just before you came on, didn't you?
That's right. I mean, they're coping with the circumstances as best as they can, but one thing they did say is that they're just waiting for me to call them to say we've got them.
Let's hope we do. Let's hope we can help them. That scar, it must be unique. Someone, somewhere, will recognise it. If it's you, don't hesitate. This man has to be found. There's a Crime Stoppers reward of £5,000. Call 0500 600 600 or 020 8345 3156.
A little Shirley Temple-like 2-year-old, and she'd now be a few days off her 21st birthday. But when she was this tiny, she was murdered. At any rate, that's what police now fear after reopening an investigation. This is a reconstruction made for a documentary in 1982. Little Catrice Lee was last seen in this NAFI supermarket, safe in Paderborn, a well-secured British military base in Germany. But Catrice simply disappeared.
I went all the way around the NAFI, doing my shopping. On reaching the cash desk, I placed Catrice on the floor because I wanted to go and get some crisps. As I went to get the crisps, Catrice ran back into the Naffy food hall towards the back of the shop, and I've never seen her again.
At first, it was feared Catrice may have fallen into the nearby River Lippe, and police mounted a big operation, but there was no trace of her. Now, 2 decades on, they've begun searches again.
19 years down the road, you just thought an answer. Catrice is sort of curly-headed, lovable, always laughing, so say naughty, pulling faces. And used to have great times playing with her sister.
This is Catrice's sister, Natasha, and this must actually be dredging up all those old memories and emotions.
The old memories and the emotions have never really gone away. I think after 19 years now, you know, we need the answer.
You really want this investigation reopened?
Yes, I do. I really want this investigation reopened. Be it that my sister is found and found dead, which is obviously not the answer that we want. We do need a conclusion. We need that last missing link to the chain.
Kevin, obviously you want to find anybody who heard anything at the time, who didn't feel it was appropriate to come forward. Anybody who was at the base, or who should come forward now?
Yes, we're very keen to obviously contact anybody who lived in Paderborn or the surrounding area in 1981, who knew or suspected anybody who behaved inappropriately with children. We'd like to hear from them first of all.
I wonder if other children at the time, I mean now grown up, were treated inappropriately, were even abused and have never really reported it.
It's a distinct possibility, yes, and we'd like to contact anyone who went to the local kindergarten or grew up in that area.
You're fairly certain this is likely to turn out to be a paedophile murder, are you?
It's an avenue which we're exploring, Nick, yes.
So anybody who was there at the time, anybody who heard anything at the time, anybody who's heard anything subsequently, even if it's just a rumour, you want them to call?
Yes, obviously the military community is a very close-knit community. We're convinced that somebody somewhere knows something. So anybody with any information, no matter how small, how old, or how fantastic that might be to them, we would like to hear from them now.
Okay, well, let's see how far we can get with this. You know, between 93 and 97% of murderers get caught and convicted. Let's not let Catrice down. 0500 600 600 or 0800 085 2213.
These men are all wanted in connection with serious sex offences. We've got all 4 names. Can you give us all 4 addresses? This is who they are: Alexandru Popovici, Mark Brito, Darren Koza and Orlando Watkis. Now please have a really good look and remember that they might well go under a different name, but if you recognise any of their faces, please ring us now on 0500 600 600, and all the incident room numbers can be found on CFEX page 621.
To be burgled is bad enough. To lose a collection of jewellery worth £1 million is worse. To be held at knife point is absolutely terrifying. There's a reward in this case. 3 months ago, a gang, 3 white men, 2 black, burst into a house in North London.
It was about 8:30 or 8:35 in the evening. They entered from the side door, which is a kitchen door. From kitchen they came to the study room where I was sitting. They were wearing dark clothes. Their faces were completely hidden with mask. They shouted on us, "Lie down on the floor." One man went immediately and overpowered my wife and threw her on the floor and started to hit her with a stick. 2 of them dragged her upstairs. They were saying, "We want you to open the safe." They dragged me up to the staircase. They could not take me up because I was holding this baluster. One black chap hit me with punches, blows. He threw duvet on me, while other white chap was holding a knife at me. He said, "We will kill your wife, we will kill your son, we will kill all of you." I understand the safe was open. They took one of the pillowcase and put the jewellery in the pillowcase. More than £1 million jewellery has been stolen.
The gang raced off in a car which had been stolen and was abandoned nearby in Dorman Way in Swiss Cottage, North London. It was later set on fire. Call us if you remember anything suspicious, if you think you know the gang, or if you've seen the jewellery.